Welcome to the ABCs today.
Welcome to the ABCs of Home Organization, the podcast that simplifies home management, one letter and habit at a time. I'm your host, Stephanie King, your go-to gal for all things decluttering and home organizing. Thank you so much for joining me. This podcast is all about breaking down home organization into bite-sized, doable habits. Inspired by my book, ABCs of Home Organization, each episode gives you quick, actionable steps to clear the clutter, build routines that stick, and turn your space into a home that empowers you. Whether your home feels like chaos or you just want a little refresh, you're in the right place. We're here to simplify your world, elevate your mindset, and give you back your time so you can focus on what really lights you up. New episodes drop every Wednesday at 6 a.m., perfect for that morning coffee or commute. Hit play, subscribe, and let's get this transformation started. Your beautifully organized life starts now. Hello, and welcome to the ABCs of Home Organization. Today we are discussing W, and we are almost done with the alphabet. It seems so weird and yet so exciting, and I feel like the weeks have gone by so quickly, like we're already in July. How can that happen? And for those who are just tuning in on W, I'm Stephanie, your host, and I hope that you do go back and review some of these other podcasts, and that even if it's just vacuuming or sweeping something up, it's not necessarily the episode about that. We go into deeper suggestions for home organization, for building slight holistic lifestyles, and hopefully we continue to do that going on. So welcome. I'm so excited that you have been joining me on this adventure, so to say. I've been trying to figure out my voice, trying to figure out what people want to listen to, and trying to just get some momentum going for when I create the next podcast, Soulstice Living, and start interviewing different women who have essentially stepped out of the box to create the exact life they want to live, and to talk about their journey and the offerings, what they're able to give to you, the listeners, and to help make your life just a little bit easier. So more on that later, and we'll be hitting marketing hard shortly. But in the meantime, let us talk about wiping up spills. And yes, I do mean this literally, but I also want to just delve a little bit deeper than that throughout this entire episode. So we're going to talk about the power of doing things now, cleaning up as you go, and not letting the small stuff pile up into essentially overwhelm. Like, we want to take the action now to help ourselves tomorrow. Let's start simple. Put a command hook and a rag in any area that may potentially have a spill or someone needs to grab a rag. This could be under your sink, on the pantry door, beside the trash can. You want to make it easier for everyone in the household to clean up after themselves, so that if they do spill somewhere, they know to go to this one area to grab the rag and then immediately clean up the spills. And so when you're cleaning up immediately, you're preventing the spills from becoming sticky or crusty, or if they smell later or create like a bigger mess, right? And this whole philosophy goes for life as well. Your small actions now are preventing bigger problems later. So just start that, put a command hook, put the rag, and just see what happens. And even get the input, if you live with anyone else, of where they think it should go. And possibly even have them hang it as well, so they have no choice but to know exactly where that command hook and rag is hanging out. So now that that is covered, we're going to delve a little bit deeper into a more holistic way of living, and the symbolism of why wiping up a spill has to do with kind of the things that we spill in our own lives. So you have unfinished to-dos, or emotional messes, or so many unread emails, text messages, conversations that are left hanging, not finished, things like that. So what do we kind of put off till tomorrow that we're not going to deal with? We say, I'm going to deal with it later. But the truth is that often that later never comes, or it comes when you're often already overwhelmed, and so then it never gets done. And it's just a vicious cycle of, I'm going to do it later, later comes, I can't do it now. I'm going to do it later, it comes, it's never going to get done. And so most times, possibly procrastination, right? Like, I feel like most of us are guilty of this, myself included. And I just want to stress that procrastination is not laziness. It's often fatigue or fear, or even a big one is perfectionism in disguise. People are afraid to start because it has to be perfect. The plan has to be amazing before they can even start. And so often the starting never happens until most people who are Procrastinators deal well with a deadline. And so when you are hours away from the action needed being done, it's often easier to do it then because it literally has to get done. And oftentimes in that, you run over the deadline because you haven't left enough time. Myself included, sometimes very bad at estimating time and how long things will take. Another thing is that possibly you're too tired or distracted or unmotivated. The task, you just don't want to do it. And so responding to someone's message or scheduling that appointment, putting away your laundry, those get pushed off until tomorrow. And so I want to talk just a little bit about what you can do when you're in this low energy, brain foggy decision fatigue space, and how to kind of like keep moving through this without burning out. And for me personally, my energy levels are high and low. I have been trying to monitor them over the last 5 years of, is it when I'm on my cycle and my lower energy, do I just not have the mental capacity to deal with clients or strangers in a checkout line? Or is it that when I'm physically around certain people, are they draining me? Is it if I've done a move job for 4 days in a row and I'm working those 8 to 12 hours of physical go, 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 lifting heavy things, is that when I'm low? And so I've just been monitoring exactly what it is that I'm doing that puts me in a depleted energy mindset and physical body. And it's quite interesting. And then also on the opposite end of what I can do to fill up my tank so that when I am low energy, I tell myself, okay, I'm not allowed to go out. I'm not allowed to have dinner with people. I have to stay home, cook a nutritious meal, and ideally go to bed at a reasonable time. For me, reasonable is 11 p.m. And sometimes I'm up until 1 to yesterday till 4 a.m. I'm like, why am I awake right now? Why am I wide awake at this moment in time? And so it's just creating those actions that I know I need to take when I am in a certain depletion level. Can anyone commiserate with me on that one? Does anyone else, you just sometimes feel like you have absolutely no energy? You don't want to do another task and what's on your actual task list sheet is so long and daunting that you just want to literally burn it? Because I have to tell you, like the things that go through my mind that's on my mental task list, I do write some things down, but it's in the back of my mind of everything I have to get done, is just so daunting that I don't want to start. And I often do the little things, or I get distracted by the stuff that has no deadline whatsoever. I'm not even enjoying it. It's kind of like busy work, and it's distracting me from the stuff I kind of do want to do, but I'm not even starting. And it's just, I find it extremely annoying. And so we're going to go through just some actions to hopefully get you over this hump and that hump, and myself included. But let's just dive in. So what action to take when you're low on energy? What you can do when you're in that, whether it's brain fog, decision fatigue, you just have low energy, whatever the reason, we don't want you to burn out. And one thing you can do is you anchor in that one micro action. So we have talked about micro actions on a previous podcast, but just ask yourself, what one tiny thing can I do right now that would make me feel just a little bit better? And it could be lighting a candle, throwing away a piece of trash, filling up a water bottle, cuddling in a blanket, whatever it is that makes you feel good. And just recognize these aren't just small wins. They are. You taking any action is a win, but they're also nervous system regulators. So by you doing something like lighting a candle, you are calming your nervous system down. You are regulating it back into the norm. You are pulling yourself away from the depletion and or fight, flight, freeze, fawn mode, and you are coming back into a neutralized state. And so just figure out what it is that you can do in that moment, because I know sometimes that low energy, we can't do anything. But lighting a candle, brewing a cup of tea, putting on music and just listening to it, those are all things that we can do that help us. So go ahead and just write down 3 things right now. Pause this recording and write down what came into your mind. And then another thing you can do is just create very similar concept, but a now list. So it's not a to-do list. It's not that huge task list that we know we all have, whether in our minds or written on paper, but it's a now list. And so it's items that you can do in the next 5 minutes or less, 1 minute. You could wipe a counter. You can take a moment and just breathe. Do the cycle breathing, whichever you want to call it, of you breathing in 4 counts, holding 4 counts, out 4 counts. If you have it in you, do a square and hold for 4 counts after you breathe out. But just take a moment to just sit and allow that nervous system to regulate, to calm down. Maybe you have more energy and it's organize a drawer. Or maybe composing that one text that you have been meaning to respond to this person for days, weeks, months, and it's in the back of your brain and it distracts you at the most random times and it pops up into your brain, but you still don't send that text. Why do we not send that text? Tell me. I have a letter that I told my friend I would write back in December when I got their Christmas card. And I think they even sent the Christmas card early because they moved. And we're in July and I have not sent that letter. I have their Christmas card out. It is the visual reminder that I need to send this letter because I told them I would. And yet it hasn't happened. Why? It's an activity that would take me less than 5 minutes to do. And I have yet to do it. So just create your now list. Create this list that you can do an action that is going to help build your momentum without creating a lot of pressure. And if you need a little external help, set the timer. Use a timer, 10 minutes. You can have it play gentle music at the end or like a calming sound. You don't want something jarring or rough or something that makes you cringe. You want something that's just like la 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 la, like so lovely. And just tell yourself, I only have to be present for these 10 minutes. I only have to do this one task for 10 minutes. And I feel like be surprised how often we keep going past those 10 minutes. But again, the task is just to do 10 minutes. If you're done at 10 minutes, you're done at 10 minutes. Huge win, 10 minutes, amazing, pat yourself on the back. And with that being said, we want to celebrate any action, not an outcome. So even if you do the 10 minutes, but the task isn't done, praise yourself for starting and doing 10 minutes. Praise yourself for exercising for 5 minutes. Praise yourself for doing 10 minutes of a task that you've been putting off for months. Acknowledge and understand that any progress and celebrating the progress, it's a mindset shift. Okay, so you wiping up that spill, huge, compliment yourself. You texting your friend who you had not texted for months, compliment yourself. Give yourself the high five and the joy that, yes, you have made progress. This is worth a celebration. Huge. And I'm just here to tell you as well that you're doing a great job. Okay? No matter where you're at in life, no matter what you're doing, you are amazing. You're phenomenal. You're doing exactly what it is you're supposed to be doing. And I am sending you so much love and so many hugs right now because I get it. Life is hard. And when you add the responsibilities of other people to it, it can feel even more daunting. And your paralysis or overwhelm can just literally overtake every part of your being and you're not sure what to do next or how to do it. So I am just sending you all the love, and I ask that you give yourself some grace and your own self-love and just recognize all that you are doing well and all that you are affecting change in your own life. So give yourself a hug. Physically put your hands around yourself and just hug yourself for 10 seconds. You deserve it. All of us deserve so much love. Another interesting law that I absolutely love, and it's one of the few things that I recall from when I studied for my organizing exam, but it's called Parkinson's Law, and it basically states that work expands to fill the time available for its completion. And so I love this because if I'm at a client's house and we only have 4 hours, the work will take us 4 hours. I can get it done. I might be like the Energizer Bunny on caffeine and zooming all over the place, but the work will get done in those 4 hours. On the other side of the coin, if I had a full day of 6 or 8 hours, that same work would get done in 6 or 8 hours. And so I love to reiterate doing that 10-minute timer because you'll surprise yourself on the tasks that you're able to complete in just 10 minutes due to the Parkinson's Law. And so next time you think, oh, I have 24 hours to do this, it's like the antithesis of Parkinson's Law. You will get nothing done if you have 24 hours. So limit yourself on the number of minutes that you have to complete a task. Start at 10, 20, however long you think, and just see if Parkinson's Law does actually work for you as far as you filling the time exactly what it is you do to have a task. Did that make sense? So all of this, though, has one thing in common, and that's that we're showing up for ourselves. We're showing up for ourselves today, and we're showing up for our future self. And we need to develop a love and respect so strong for that person that we are able to take these actions, that we are able to take these steps. So if wiping up the spill today saves your future self from having to scrub a stain tomorrow and scrub and scrub and scrub, which then takes away from time doing X, wipe up the spill today. Or if putting the dish in the dishwasher today saves your future self from dreading the pile that is built up because all the dishes were just piling, put the dish in the dishwasher today. And energetically, when you're acting now, you're basically signaling to all your bodies, your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual bodies, your soul, that I can be trusted. I show up for myself. I love myself. And I know that's taking it on a different tangent. The whole self-love thing can make people feel uncomfortable, but I've been there in the beginning of a self-love journey of not being able to face myself in a mirror and make eye contact with myself, to tell myself good things. And it's surprising what comes out when we do start focusing on the love we have for ourselves, the acceptance we have for ourselves, and just the acknowledgement that someone else, the way they're doing it is not the way we're going to do it. We are our own individual person, and exactly how we're designing ourselves is what we're meant to be designing. And to just, for me, I accept that nothing happens to me, it's all for me. That's a huge mind shift change. And another one is, it is what it is. I can't change something that's already happened. I can't go back into the past and affect any change. And so I have to accept that that happened. The only thing that I can change is how I respond to it and how I look at it going forward, right? And so those two mind shift switches that I've done in the past few years have just given me such peace, such acceptance, such knowledge of this is good. Life is great. And if it's not, I can change it. And I do change it. And so I encourage you to just, if you're feeling behind or stuck or scattered or stressed or overwhelmed, just start with that one wipe up the spill, that one step, one action of you being present in this moment, taking steps towards helping your future self. And if you're still tired tomorrow, if tomorrow comes and you're exhausted still, that's okay. You're building self-trust. You're building love of self. You're not creating a checklist that you have to check everything off. You are creating a relationship with yourself, with your future self and current self and all yourselves across all timelines, forward and backwards, of an amazing person that who you are. And you're recognizing this person, ideally, knocking down any viewpoints that you've had about her or him that do not exist anymore. And you are just accepting and loving. And that is all that we can do, I think, in this world, is to accept ourselves exactly as we are. So, I went in a little deep in there. I apologize. Hopefully it resonated. But if this resonated with you, just come share your small wins with me on ABCs of Home Organization Facebook community group, and possibly share what's one spill you wiped up today. Maybe not actual physical spill in the form of a liquid, but what spill did you do today that you are helping your future self? So thank you so very much for joining me. Remember that getting organized is not about perfection. It's about creating a space that empowers you and makes your life easier. Always remember to be kind to yourself during this organizing process. And if you found today's episode helpful, please subscribe, share it with a friend, or leave me a review. I'll be back soon with more actionable tips to help you transform your space and your life. Until next time, happy organizing.